place that thrives on the fact that we are only reminiscent on our gray hues. We have been provided with the gift of communication, but it only complexifies something that should be so simple: coexistence. How can we define what it means to be successful, to be happy, to be human? We can boil it down to one essential question: how do we coexist with each other so peacefully to where communication is no longer a means of oppression?
We have an overwhelming desire to label that of which we don't understand. It's human nature, a defense mechanism, a way to mold our world into something that makes sense. In doing so, we confine ourselves and others into concrete definitions that do not encompass who we or others truly are.
Labels have become a form of accepted oppression. We assign them to people to feel safer about our own surroundings through assumptions and preconceived notions that have come with these loaded words. We receive them in hopes our malleable personalities can be molded to fit societal standards.
Labels are synonymous with safety. Safety from either who you truly are or safety from what we think we know.
They offer us a way to define our fears and act accordingly. And since we have made a commitment to language and to the power of language, we need to now choose whether or not we want to reclaim power over a language which has been made to work against us. We set these normalities to gauge how afraid we must be towards an individual, and any ambiguity causes discomfort and perhaps even discrimination.
Labels are words, and all words have definitions. Oftentimes, words have one, maybe two definitions that are very hard to change. And like definitions, labels become walls prohibiting growth. When labels are put on a person who is not clear and confident in themselves, they have no power to decide who they want to be. It takes an overwhelming amount of effort to break out of them. Why do we ignore the complexity that is the essence of someone and assign everyone a neat little box to fit in instead? Because labels are easy. They provide forced comfortability and are distracting, comfortable in submitting to the idea of being something someone says you ought to be, and distracting by clouding the vision of those who accept labels blindly and without a second thought.
I am an Asian American, and I am never allowed to be lesser.
I am African American, and I am automatically assumed to be lesser.
Already, we are expected to fit certain molds that have been artificially created by society through the cultural implications these words carry. My life has been defined by grades I earn and how I appease my teachers. I was allowed to be the perfect student. Unfortunately, this label had a weight I could not carry. I was diagnosed with clinical depression, a plea for pity, they say. All of a sudden, I'm casted as an attention seeker and denied any ability to feel pain. I'm not allowed to feel upset. I have to constantly hide my feelings as a mask that suffocates how I really feel. I am allowed to hide.
I am assumed to be uncultured. I am assumed to be unintelligent. I am assumed to be unable to do what a person more privileged than I could do. I'm not allowed to be reserved or shy or even powerful or impactful. I am hyper aware of how black I am and how black I am not. I'm not normal in a community of whites or in a community of blacks. But do I want to be normal? Because in this case, normality is a stereotype, and stereotypes do not encompass who I am, who I choose to be, or who I will become. I am capable to do what others can do, and that I can do it better. Despite this, I must alter not only the color of my skin, but the way I act in each location. I am constantly burdened with the never-ending need to prove I can be who everyone else wants me to be.
I am not allowed to.
I am allowed to.
I am.
I am not.
We are not the echoes of your fears.
Naturally, we are impatient and we are impulsive. However, the world is not black and white or even gray. There's no set number of labels that describe everything a person is. The world is composed of infinite shades of color that mix, mingle, merge, bleed, leak, and blend to create a canvas as diverse and as rare and as unique as one's fingertips.
And yet we only choose to focus on what we can see on the surface.
To get rid of the labels and establish an understanding with those around us, we need to slow down. Take the time to truly observe and figure out the variety of colors in others.
We all fear judgment, whether it be from others or from ourselves. We have to acknowledge not only this fact, but the facts that bind us together through the commonalities we share before we continue any farther.
Maybe in this way, we will discover the truth behind the walls of labels and see who a person truly is.
I want you to stop and I want you to think. What are the labels that prohibit your own personal growth? What have you intrinsically casted onto others?
To dig deeper, to come together in so many different ways, provides an infinite number of possibilities for change. With the amount of issues in the world that need fixing, imagine what the human race could do if we chose to look past the labels, the gray.